With every passing moment, thoughts of you run through my head. Every time that I'm near you, I realize that you're heaven sent, baby.
I think you're truly something special. Just what my dreams are really made of. Let's stay together, you and me, boy. There's no one like you around. Oh, baby.
I really like what you done to me. I can't really explain it. I am so into you. I really
Whoa,
like.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
I'm so into you.
whoa.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Middle Earth. It's Jaden XD.
Welcome to Purgatory.
Yes, one-stop shop for all things hellacious. I'm XD.
Ooh, me too, nigga. It is hellacious over here. Let me tell you something. Hellbound.
Yeah.
I started reading. I don't know if I'm. No, I'm not hell. I'm Middle Earth is what I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna torture you a little bit, but I'll let you live.
Yeah. Not about all killing. And sometimes they just cut out your tongue.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't give a heck where there's a big hole in your neck. You don't always die from tobacco.
But you can from being a privileged, mediocre white man.
Mm-hmm. You can.
Mm.
You know, there's a list of volumes. There's binders full of white men.
Through history.
The best
Nigga.
Mitt Romney ever gave us was binders. He said, I got a list of niggas. Oh.
That was me.
Sorry.
Apologies.
Okay.
We're back.
Okay, my bad. Anyway, how was your week?
Oh, it was a good week, productive. I'm just loving school, man. I'm just having a good time. And one of the food, obviously, being able to study the food and all of that. It's obviously my favorite part. I'm so glad I did it. But there is just a freedom in being a middle-aged black woman. There's just a freedom that comes along with it where I'm like, this is lovely. You know what I'm saying? I just say what I want, nigga. And I'm not saying with no consequence. I'm saying because when I speak, it's with intention, right? But you're going to hear it.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm realizing that some of these young white boys in my class, you know, their mothers may have made their beds. You know what I'm saying? Or breastfed them till they were 5. But regardless, there is a privilege and a laziness that I just can't really like vibe with like that. And so I had to, you know, I had to say it today. And I love the fact that I just don't give a fuck about saying it to nobody. No, I don't care. And I said, you know, I'm noticing a trend with the white boys around here. And it just feels lovely. You know what I'm saying? And it feels lovely that it's also seen, you know, the world, including the white women, International Women's Day. Look at that. See the privilege of these mediocre white boys.
Author Ijoma Oluo's 2018 book, So You Want to Talk About Race, shot up the bestseller list after George Floyd was killed. Her new book, Mediocre, The Dangerous Legacy of White Male America, explains how society preserves this power regardless of merit. And here she is talking to our Hari Srinivasan about it.
I think mediocrity is something that they're really good at.
Right there, because it's International Women's Day. Go ahead.
Mediocrity is something that they're really good at. And nobody has a better PR team than a white man.
Oh.
I mean, that's the Christians one. But, it's kind of like, no matter, and sometimes, I don't mean to be super deep, but sometimes that shit is like discouraging, right? Because it's just like we do all this work and that whole like Negro speech is like you got to work twice as hard to get, half of what they got. And it's just like, how when this nigga is doing literally nothing?
Oh my God.
Stop
my pain with
and,
fingers.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
You could be working on something and they come and say, hey, this is what this white man is going to be getting paid. Make sure you put that on the budget. And you'd be like, whoa, wait a minute. What is this nigga doing?
Right. we never did that before. Oh,
man. But I say all that to say they don't have no problem asking for what they want. They don't have no problem taking an AirPod case-sized penis and putting it on the table as if it is gargantuan. Like, they don't have no problem saying what the fuck is and what the fuck is not. And so I just will carry that same energy too. Like, match me, nigga. It get chaotic up in this bitch.
We can toe to toe. Okay.
Let's listen, and I'm loving it. Let's do it. Let's go toe to toe. But also, when you are firm and intentional about what you say, whether it stings or not, people ain't got no choice but to listen. Because if they want to fight you, they're gonna lose. And when I say fight, I don't always mean literally, but that could mean literally as well. But you will lose because I am right.
Yeah. Well,
but yes,
sounds like you had
that way. I'm gonna continue.
Sounds like you had an eventful, eye-opening week.
Yeah. See, the thing was a fun, good time. Shout out to Mandy and Bridget. Shout out to them for this deal. Okay, they are out here working. So I went on there. Shout out to them. Yeah, and it's just been a lot of like what it's been. You know what I'm saying? What's your week been like?
Ooh, rough. I ain't cut my hair, no nothing. It's been a lot. It's been a hell of a week. My friend's dad passed away, so that was a rough time.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Also, people playing with my money and not paying me on time.
Again?
Yeah. Well, not with the same company. It's just okay. Somebody,
in general.
Just in general. Delo launched publicly again.
Yes, it did.
Yes, you can get yourself a bottle. You don't have to create your own. This time you can buy Delo directly.
Yes.
So you can search on all my social media properties. Yes, same scent, same everything. So it ranges from 35 up to 150, and the more you refer people to it, the more points you get, and the more points you get, you can redeem for a free bottle. So, and you don't necessarily have to purchase to get points either. So the more you share it, the more you have an incentive. So it's pretty cool. And when you go to the site, you see a little video of mine that I made greeting you, and it's a good time. I'm really excited that it's up. I'm also I tweeted about this, but I'm doing like podcasting consulting. So if you are interested,
Okay.
yeah. So if you are interested in making your podcast Thug Thizzle ass dreams come true, holler at your kid, and we'll get some stuff going. But you need to email me directly at xd@thexdexperience.com.
Yes,
and my email is
I
everywhere,
support
or you
this
can go on my
message.
website. Yeah. There's a lot of podcasts out there that are really good, and they just need some fine tuning and a little direction. And I feel like we have made our imprint in the podcasting Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, if you want to call it.
So I feel like,
Made our
we are
graffiti known.
qualified. Yeah, we are, and we run a six-figure business. So that's, yeah. So the point is, holler at the kid, and we will, I'll make it happen for you. Or I'll try. So yeah, it's been busy. I went to Mary Akbar's
Yes, you
listening
did.
It was really, really, really good. She sing like what I enjoy about good singers is when they sing live, and there's no need for auto tune, whatever hieroglyphics, whatever the fuck they didn't add to
Not hieroglyphics.
Mila J's voice or whoever the fuck is singing. You know what I mean? But like, I enjoyed myself. She sang. The most important was her instrument, and that was really great. I mean, she looked great and all that good stuff, but the music and the voice was on, so that was great.
Listen, Mary is an ethereal fairy, okay? She just glows from the inside out, and if you have not listened to her album, Nah, N-N-O-O, then, which we'll put in the description box, you need to... I'm not even saying that because she's the homie. Like, I'm a fan of the album. It's a beautiful album.
Ahurong ginaya, ahurong ginaya, ahurong ginaya, ahurong ginaya.
Full of beautiful messages. So, shout out to Mary. I'm so glad you all went to that.
Yeah, and let me
so
tell you what
glad you all
happened
went.
right after that, because there's the story.
Oh no.
So we had a great time. We go to Mary's thing. It's it's fancy. It was interesting because there was white people in the audience, and like her music is very black.
She told me about that. She told me about that, and I actually love it.
So
She got
my
a song on
favorite-
there called Black Body. She
That's exactly
says,
what happened.
You do not understand.
So mind you, I'm in the middle. Chris Rogers is on my right, and Antonio is on my left. Right, and all of us, whatever reason, happened to look at this exact same time. So when she sang that part, so we're sitting in these high top tape chairs or whatever, and these white folks are sitting in like regular seating or whatever. And so they're relaxed or whatever, and we just happened to look at this white lady's hands, and she had them clasped like this or whatever. And when she started singing that, it got a little tighter.
Because her knuckles start turning white, huh?
So the white man shifted. And then there was the white girl who was, liberal. So, she was for it. But,
She's probably one of Mary's homies, and if she has
and
any
I'm sure the white
homies,
people too.
they get it. But there was a couple of people there who were last minute like show ups, and good. That's what you get when you be wanting to come up in spaces that you.
It was so interesting because then this group of I was like, oh, have you ever seen Looking from HBO? Well, the white boy from Abbott Elementary is on that show. But anyway, it was like the cast of like Looking came in. It was like these white gays that came in, and they came strictly for like the bar area, and like she served this African drink, and one was alcohol, one side had alcohol, other didn't. So they were just like, oh my gosh, I've never had this. They should sell this in like WeHo. It was just like,
You see, this is how it starts. See, y'all don't even realize y'all say gentrified ass sentences. This is what I be talking about. Niggas y'all wanna throw raisins in the collard greens and all kinds of shit, and you act like you paying honor, but you not.
Right. So all of that happened, right? Good time. It was also date night, right? So we're like, okay, let's go out on the night on the town. We don't necessarily do that quite often because, the state of the world.
Yeah.
So, it happened to be Thursday, which also means sad gay night. And I do want to make this, before I move on, because this is a hell of a transition, I want to put in parentheses that what I'm about to say has nothing to do with my story, okay? But I did ran into Fred. Remember Fred Smith? And Fred gave us our opportunity at Cal State LA.
Fred, yeah, duh.
Yeah,
Of
so we
course.
saw him out, and he happened to be in town, and he was like, and I gave him a big hug. I was like, nigga, what's up? Like, what
When you
been
said
at?
Fred
He's
at
in the
first, I'm
Bay.
like, is this a nigga from Brooklyn I'm supposed to remember?
No.
Fred.
No.
Of course. I
Dr.
love Fred.
Smith.
He's in San Francisco now. Dr. Fred,
Yeah.
excuse
Yeah, Dr. Fred, yeah. Author, everything. It's amazing. He's trying to get
Okay.
back down here. I was like, girl, come back. Because we were talking about, there's one thing, LA don't have no black people, but San Francisco definitely don't have no black people. So, even in Oakland, it's like 4 of them. Right. So, it was really good seeing him. But back out of the
Shout out to
parentheses,
Dr.
right?
Fred.
So we go to sad gay night.
What the
Now-
fuck is sad gay night? Can you just...
Sad gay night is when... Actually, you could interpret it how you want to. Let's go with
Is that a bar?
Yeah, it's what
Oh,
I've
okay, all right.
like
Say
deemed
less. Go ahead,
sad
keep
gay
going.
night. It's
Say
not.
less, say
It's
less.
not a night. It's like a party night.
Yeah,
like,
no, I know.
ooh,
That's
we're
why
going
I was
to
like,
sad
it's at
gay
a bar, right?
Thursdays at like Heat. Like no.
No, I knew it wasn't a theme. I knew it was your theme. I just
okay.
wanted to picture the setting so that I could fully get the full context. And now that I know that it's at a bar of sorts, or in a similar environment, I am picking up what you're putting down. You may continue.
Yeah, like there was a young prince, princess, duke, duchess, duchin royalty that was just dancing in a caftan all by themselves, just living their lives. It was great. And then
They
there
were
was,
happy though, right? They were happy.
Oh yeah, it was a safe space, except
Very good.
which was not safe with the alcohol. Now, I talked about this on Twitter, and Denver from the B Scott show chimed in and talked about this, but like they be using cheap alcohol and replacing cheap swill in the like expensive bottles. So I go, I drink. Don't judge me.
Who's doing that? That's a lot. We haven't done that at any bar I've ever worked at.
Apparently, it's a thing in California. Like it's an article about how they have these deals on alcohol that get straight from Mexico.
Okay.
Kind of like how, not as a comparison, but how we don't have activists anymore in America, but they have activista for to make lean and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So-
okay.
So it had, and Chris Rogers pointed it out because he was like, we went to 2 different places. One place, then we went to a different place, and then we went back. And he was like, I've noticed that they actually opened a bottle when we were at the Abbey, and it did taste. It tasted different. I was like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to taste. So when I tell you, honey, I got home, I had 3 drinks. Mind you, I'm not necessarily the biggest drinker, but I was going through it. It was just a lot. Thursday was a lot. So I was like, okay, feeling it, whatever. I'm cool. Get home, fine. Go to sleep, cool. Wake up at 3 a.m. When I tell you I threw out like my eyeballs.
Oh, you should have took that milk, this little nigga.
Yeah, but it was so weird. But like, Jade, you know how normally when you have like, you get drunk and you drink too much, you throw up one and done or maybe 2 and done? Nigga, I was throwing up for like 7 hours.
So you're like me. I've never been a one and done throw up person. So sorry for anybody who hates this
Oh
conversation.
yeah, trigger warning.
I've never been a one and done. Like, it's always, that's why I hate doing it so much, because it's an event. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a cocktail party, there's a main reception, and then there's an after fucking party, nigga. and I be ready to stop partying, nigga. And I can't. So that's one reason I really got real heavy on milk thistle to clean out, because it just really made a difference. But then also I had to recognize what was like not fucking with my body, because I can't do that anymore. Like, and then the older you get, the more that shit, I swear it takes lives off of you, nigga. Like,
yo, son,
I'm like, oh my God, I just lost a week. Like, I'm gonna die a week earlier now.
I was so distraught. I was in the bed. I uploaded the episode from my phone. I was just like, I cannot do this. And it's like, it got to the point where like I couldn't move.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is like legit alcohol poisoning. I'm like, girl. But the point is to say, if you out and you get these, you go to happy hour, especially in New York. Well, I've never had this. Well, I've only had one problem like this in New York City, and that was at a bar in Bushwick. But, you know, I'm king of cheap alcohol back in the day when I used to go to Sidewalk and all that good stuff. And I never had that problem. We used to hit
12th Street, like, real heavy. And, I used to be fucked up, but that's because literally I would be having as many drinks. I would have like 9 drinks.
Yeah.
So, like, of course you're going to be fucked up, bitch.
Yeah, they're $2.50. Oh, I miss 12th Street Ale House.
Yeah.
I heard they closed.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, yeah, I said that. They did close. I'm the one who said it. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Weed.
Sorry.
I miss the times. You know what I'm saying? I miss, like, us just going to the bar and ordering food and, you know, really getting fucked up off of $2 drinks. That was reckless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or, like, walking through the park and drinking giant cans of Four Loko when it was, you know, with the illegal shit in it. You know what I'm saying? Just shit like that.
When it had promethazine in it.
But I don't miss, like, I don't want to do that again. It was a beautiful time.
I missed those times. I missed the carefree element.
Yes.
I missed the lack of responsibility.
Cause in a minute, if he don't show up, then man.
If I take one more drink, I'm gonna end up in you. Is that what you wanna do, shorty? If I take one more drink.
Wow, we really sat up on like a Wednesday and watched Polly. We didn't have shit to do. And even when we had jobs, it'd be like, want me at the bar after, nigga? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's work tomorrow, but fuck it, we ball. Like,
yeah.
What in the hell?
That's the one thing that they really lack in Los Angeles. And that's, I don't want to say lack of community, because I'm sure in Inglewood and South LA there's more
I've heard
it's community.
It's not like a fall through situation like here. There.
No,
I hear that culture is different.
Right. It's very much like, it's very easy to walk up on somebody in New York or at a bar and, you know, hey, after work or whatever, because they either work in the neighborhood or whatever. Everybody, the train is the great equalizer, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. So here it's like, it's a lot more planning and a lot more orchestrating, which leads to a lot more flakiness because of the fact you have to do so much.
Mm-hmm. But
anywho,
and can I just tell you, like, I understand making plans ahead of time because there are times when we have to do that. But a lot of times our attitudes are completely different from the moment that we make the plan to the moment when it's time to actually execute it. Mm-hmm. You know, and which is where all these memes come from, with people being like, girl, I'm so glad you canceled first, you know, and shit like that. Because really, niggas just be tired. And I think it's okay to say, at the time, I was real hype about this. And now I'm real hype about not leaving my house.
Yeah.
That's how me and my homegirls communicate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, let's take care of some business and pay some bills. As you know, you can listen to us anywhere and everywhere you get your podcasts. We're not just exclusively on Spotify. So please subscribe wherever you see fit. All the links of where you can subscribe to us are in our link tree, which you can find in the description box of every episode, as well as our social media platforms. We encourage you to click the link tree link because a lot of you asked where you can find stuff, and everything is there, where it comes from our playlist, our show, our Patreon, our YouTube channel, TikTok, all that stuff is all in Linktree. So go there, Discord and all, right? That's number one. Number two, we have Family Game Night number 2.
Oh, a good time, nigga.
Yes. It's a Divas edition. It is, starring, our returning faves, Dr. Kia and LaToya and Asante. And special guest Jocelyn will be on Team XD because it's Women's Month and I need a woman on my team. So. That's what it is. So March 25th, sign up for Patreon right now, and you can get all the details where you get exclusive clips from how we do it. I know last week or the past few days you got when we had the whole black discussion on Black TV, and there's way more clips that came out of that. You got a 50-minute show and it was 3 hours long.
Ooh, honey, it was lengthy. I'm excited to have Shara part this time. That's gonna be a good time. But shout out to Carrie for joining us before. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have more woman energy for Women's History Month.
Yeah, so it's going to be a good time. Also, we are raising money, for, getting out our dreams, no Kanye. So, our GoFundMe, share it with your family. If you want to just do a one-time thing, but also sign up for the Patreon because that's where all the true mess and shit talking goes down, right?
Truth, yes.
Also subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you haven't, I implore you to do so because there's some really cool stuff that's coming very soon and you might want to be a part of it. So like this episode, for instance, it's the first episode that will actually be free available on YouTube, and the only one because today we're covering Love After Lockup for everybody. And it wouldn't be fair if we just hid it behind a paywall, just this one episode, so everybody gets it. And I said Delo is available, podcast, all that good stuff. Is there anything else I need to announce?
There is not.
Okay. Without further ado, let's take a break and we'll be back with covering the first episode of season 4 of Love After Lockup. Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Well, to be exact, to tell me that she had been arrested. She'd been arrested for armed robbery. She had gone in with 2 co-defendants because she had been hooked on a drug, and it was called Molly. This drug got her so far out there that even I didn't know who she was.
And we're back. This week, we haven't done this in a long time just because we haven't had a new season in a long time, but we typically do the first episode or recap the very first episode of the season of Love After Lockup on the main show to get everybody a little, acclimated, give them a little taste of what's to come in the season. Like we said before, you can watch this everywhere. This isn't just on Patreon. Only the pre-show is, but you can watch this full episode on YouTube, and it'll probably be posted in full on socials. So, yeah, free episode for everybody, but go sign up for Patreon for more.
Yes.
This season is about to be wild, let me tell you. And I will say Yolanda the Bounty Hunter
did not disappoint.
No.
Okay, from her appearance in the window.
Hey, niggas. And how they lied and said that was her friend and not her mama's girlfriend.
Okay, so You know, I just want us as a people to get out of this habit.
That's my auntie, my roommate.
Yeah, my roommate, my best friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just call things. I know we are coming from different times. I know, you know, especially for some of my aunties who are in this situation and grandmothers, that you all have not had the freedom to be in the space where you felt safe. I'm here to tell you, we got you. Okay? If you're an old, dusty stud from Baltimore, this is a space for you. You have to go watch the pre-show to understand that reference, because that shit was motherfucking hilarious.
Where do you want to begin?
You know, I don't have full nicknames yet.
Me either, but we could flush them out as we go.
That's what I was. I said, you know what? I think we need to workshop this.
Yeah, because it's a lot to take in the first episode.
It is.
Because it's a lot of new people and a lot of new story. Outrageous story at that. Let's start with who we know so far. Let's start with Indy and Harry, which we call Gayle King and Tekashi Snitch 9. Yeah. Now, if you haven't been watching or subscribed to our Patreon, which you should, but we cover this every week, and so we met them during the Love During Lockup season, where Gayle King lives somewhere in Maryland, and she drove 6 hours to live in a trap house to wait for her nigga to get to the halfway house.
To Ohio.
Yeah, and
with her child.
With her child, and then they left and went back to Maryland because it didn't work out like that.
A nigga that she met on jail TikTok.
Jail TikTok. Jail talk, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, she, you know, they've been in a relationship for, you know, the pandemic. And so they literally, TikTok ain't been a thing really since the pandemic began.
I mean, because when I tell
long.
you these niggas are in prison making calzones in their cells.
Spike Lee pose. Jay. What? I'm not going to tell you what I saw in person, like in detail, but just know. They could be making some legit money doing porn. Professional porn out there.
Oh. I can imagine. Oh, yeah. I'm surprised that's not already.
Well, listen. There's this guy. I'm about to expose a gay secret.
Okay.
So, or like, you know how like there's things in our community that we don't talk about. So there's this porn star that I call Blessad because he has blessed across his ass cheeks. So it's
so it separates Blessad.
Yeah. So
Blessed.
Yeah, it's like BLESSED.
Blessed.
Yeah, blessed. Yeah, blessed. Because it's a big O.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So, big space. So, Mama, you know, had OnlyFans running and was posting exclusive, you know, prison content.
Okay, good.
And Mama was getting railed. So I'm like,
yes.
Y'all better go through it with Vaseline and like a Doritos bag, you know, whatever.
You've said this before.
That's what Felice Johnson told us. The booty. Anywho. Stop thinking about it.
I'm sorry, I can't. Every time I see a Doritos bag, and I'm like, are they using Cool
condom.
Ranch or original?
Mm-hmm. As long as they're staying safe, they're using a condom.
But
Whether
is
it
that
a
safe?
oil. Is anal safe? It is, but not with that. But anywho,
it's
Is that-
safe, but it's living fast and loose, nigga.
Okay. Ooh. Woo. Golly.
Okay,
God,
it's
I have your
living
eyeballs
on
fall
the
out
edge
your
of glory,
forehead.
nigga. Like it's,
Yeah. Yeah. It is.
you know, it's out on a limb. You know what I'm saying?
It's a hell of an alarm clock.
It's Maybach music. You know what I'm saying? It's like that bitch just coming in. Maybach music. You're like, where did you come from? Just like this. Where
Right.
did you come from? Oh God.
So she opens the episode with her being in bed, being sad. And she keeps throwing this word spiritual husband like it means something.
Oh my God. She's you know, she tries to make, so what we found out at the end of the last season of Love During Lockup is that he was cheating on her. Now how she learned he was cheating on her was through her psychic, who I would like to call Anubis. I think she keeps calling her Osiris or some shit like that, but I call her Anubis. So
I call her Marisol.
Yeah, you call her a few things.
Yeah. She is, I know her. Like, she is from the Bronx. I definitely given her an apartment before.
Absolutely. She's online selling those conjuring kits right now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, conjure yourself a nigga, and you're like, yes. No. But anyway. So Anubis, you know, tells her, yeah, y'all gonna live your happily ever after, but that nigga's cheating on you.
Yeah.
Well, why this was not so profound is because she has access to his iCloud account. So she just saw the pictures in the iCloud account.
Yeah.
I mean, when I tell you 55 different women, just various shades and tones,
Yes.
all of the brown and black variety.
Rocky Road Butter Pecan.
Okay, there
Deluxe.
was no preference to size, shape, who, what, where, when, why, or how. But it was a lot of hoes. And so in this episode, you know, she's still defending it. I know that he has been locked up. He's this age and he's been locked up for 4 years, and he just made a mistake when really he made like 30. But, you know, go off, sister, go king.
So, you know, he apologizes and he says he made a mistake. And this is very important to what happens next. Because he just says, I made a mistake and I'm sorry. And then he asks her if she's still coming in Ohio.
Yep, immediately.
And like and like the dummy that she is, she's like, yeah, I'm still coming. Doesn't even give him a hesitation, but
No.
she's like, yeah, I'm still coming.
Yeah, she's definitely still going.
Right.
Meanwhile, you know, her child was definitely tapping her in the top of this episode, letting her know she was hungry. And she, for certain, shooed her away.
Yeah, she did. And so
She said, go make yourself some pancakes, 2-year-old. And so she comes out of the room to her mother and her daughter. I mean, her sister and her daughter at the table. And her sister, you know, is being a mother. You know what I'm saying? She fed the child, did her
be an
hair.
auntie.
Yeah, you know.
That's auntie baby.
Bonus mother. That's what aunties are. So she updates her sister as to everything that's going on, and she's like, "Yeah, so I'm still going to Ohio."
Right. And Londa, her sister's like, well, what did he apologize for? Because, mind you, she says all this with a headscarf on, so clearly she's doing a lot of work for race relations on, you know, WeTV.
Absolutely, I fully.
Which, by the way, is a Negro network, which... Listen, I see why they have a deal with Zeus.
And Blick TV.
All Blick
Blick.
TV. So, you know, Londa's letting old girl know, like, bitch, like, you need to get to the root of the issue. Like, you have all these pictures of all these women and stuff. Why aren't you addressing this? Like, what did he say about that? What this, why, and third? And she didn't have an answer for her.
No, but she's very defensive.
Right. So they decide to have a family function.
Oh my God.
Which I think they have often, because I feel like since they all look alike, they all get together often.
Get together. Everybody looks alike except Gayle King. Now, can I just say one thing before we get into the function?
I think she looked like him.
She says, I can't remember if she said in her confessional or to her sister, but she says, it's hard for a lot of people to love unconditionally.
Yeah.
I say,
Duh.
let's talk about this phrase, loving unconditionally, because loving unconditionally, comes with an ellipses. You know what I'm saying?
All right, come on now, give it to me. Give me your unconditional love, kind of love I deserve, the kind I want in return.
Loving unconditionally comes with conditions.
It does. We have a mutual respect and love for one another, and we both act in accordance with that. And whatever standards, parameters, morals, whatever that we have set within our personal relationship, though we both, use those as guidelines. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that looks like, because that's different for everybody. However, it doesn't include somebody going out and repeatedly making the same. I'm not even going to call it a mistake at this point, because it's not. When you do it multiple times, it's not a mistake. So when somebody goes out and they're just doing the same
relationship, because it's a routine.
Over and over and over again, it's behavior. You know what I'm saying? And there's no accountability. That's not loving unconditionally. A nigga doing something that makes you feel uncomfortable and you are making excuses for it is not loving unconditionally.
No, hardly.
And a whole bevy of other things that we're not going to get into right this very second. But, oh Lord, she's so lost. And don't listen to no fucking body, but please go on with the family event.
Right. So she tells them all about the pics and the women and all the shit she found out. And so Yolanda, the bounty hunter, Thursdays at 8 on A&E.
She tells them she moving to Ohio. Then she pull her big booty friend to the side and tells her about all of his antics.
Right. And so her big booty friend, Yolanda, bounty hunter, Thursdays at 8 on A&E. Girlfriend is like, girl, this is all lust. Like, you just want to fuck him.
Yeah.
And I did not disagree based on how most of these relationships are, right? Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of them fizzle out when it comes to the physical super quickly, because there's so much passion and all this talking and yada, yada, yada. And then it's kind of like, no. All this passion and yada, yada, yada. And then all of a sudden they bone and then it's done,
Uh-huh.
Like, remember the first season of this show, and our white Nubian king and his girl from 8th grade, right? They did it in the shower, and all of a sudden
she was disappointed by his three pumps, even though that nigga literally just got out.
Yeah, so yeah, and also, I mean, yeah, he cute, but he's also like 24, like, and you 29, queen. Like, I'm not to say age ain't just nothing but a number, you know what I'm like? And not only is he just 24, he's 24 and they never had like a teenage, like, youth kind of situation. So,
and he's 24 and never had a real relationship in addition to that. And he's 24, been locked up since he was 19 and 20. And he's 24 and he likes to go out and have a good time. He wants to smoke and drink and hang out. And you want to be a family with a picket fence.
Valid, I get it. But it's not happening. So Yolanda, bounty hunter, just pops up
At the window.
like the Kool-Aid man. Like, why they have this big ass window in their house is wild, but she's just like, hey.
That shit cracked me. When I tell you that bitch needs her own fucking
A&E,
show.
where is her contract? I want a piece of it because I've been campaigning for her to be on A&E. I think it would be a great show.
Absolutely. Thursday nights at 8:00.
Thursday nights at 8:00 because she said she comes in like, and she was like, girl, what the fuck is this? And you know, they all have it out, and Yolanda opens her bag. She was like, I figured this shit was coming, so here. So she hands her a bottle of mace. And she's like, what do I need this for? And Yolanda says the whole crux of the entire series.
Yep.
You don't know him.
And she says, because they bleeped it out, in case you have to spray a nigga. Like,
Yeah, in case you have to spray it. You don't know him.
you don't. You don't know. You don't know what he's like when he gets angry. You don't know his temperament when he's this or that. Like, you don't know him, and you. Okay, so put a pin on that. Yolanda Bounty Hunter Thursday nights on A&E gives her the mace. She admits to us that she is very much in a rush because she is horny. And she called his dick a man part.
Honestly, man part is okay based on what else we saw in this episode. So sure.
Well, but I was dying that as she's talking about his quote unquote man part, that's when Yolanda Bounty Hunter Thursday nights at 8:00 on A&E shows up, savagely eating a hot dog. I was like, Sharp Entertainment got jokes all day. All day.
Big time. So we go through a whole bunch of storylines of other people, and then we cut to her and her daughter driving to Ohio, 6 hours in the middle of the night.
Are you excited to see Poppy Daddy?
Right. Now, there is a big portion of information that ends up missing that we find out right after because I was unaware of the plan. So she going to pick him up or whatever. However, she stops at where she's about to be living next, which happens to be with his sister, Lydia. Now, last season, Lydia, her tias, her mama, all called her muy loco. Mama is crazy. They said she is hasty, and my brother should be a therapist because he attracts the crazy ones. Those aren't my words. That was his mother's words.
Who is also
So-
Griselda Blanco.
Absolutely. How much coke she moves, just know that Cameron has a song about it. I'm just saying, Puerto Ricans in Ohio, you gotta ask
I was going to
yourself.
say, that's not lost on me.
Few clowns was hating, move my pounds to Dayton. And in Akron, my niggas, they would throw things. Not King James, these were coke kings. Ain't acting grown, doggy, you ain't back at home to smack the song, rapping chrome.
Yeah.
And
I was just like, huh.
So she gets to the crib and his sister's in the kitchen, making tostones and shit.
And her Monet Exchange kitty cat wig.
Because I was like, oh, Mama got her a jazzy wig for the cameras, okay? I'm with it. And the sister thing about Sister Lydia is she has the right name. Because you remember Aunt Lydia from Handmaid's Tale. Sister Lydia is not with the shits.
And she asked the most important question I've ever heard asked on this
How
show.
long you plan on staying?
I said that is the realest question because no motherfucker asks that question on this
When
show.
I tell you, Mama had unloaded one bit of clothes, and old girl stopped her. I was like, "Now hold on, before we proceed with anything else, how long you plan on staying?" And that's where I was like, so these niggas didn't discuss a timeline? Because Gayle King then proceeds to answer and says, "Well, I was thinking a few months."
And Lydia's face said, huh.
And that's what the fuck Lydia gets. Because I thought she had more sense than to say yes, knowing that this girl is buns. Lydia, that's what you get for letting somebody come up in the crib before you even discuss the timeline. But something also tells me, because remember, Gayle King was like, "Oh, well, I'm staying with my sister, so it's easy for me to leave." Something tells me she didn't call that lady till she was like on her way or something. Or like the day before.
Yeah, probably like, oh, I'm coming up there. He's coming out tonight. I'm coming to get him.
And she
That's
keeps
probably
making
how that
reference
conversation-
to how her family is her support system in Maryland, and how, you know, his family, she's looking to them to be a support system without even discussing it with them. She's looking for them to be a support system to her in Ohio.
Well, Lydia and her family drags her in confessionals.
Oh, boy.
And the mama come over, the sister come over, her aunties everywhere. They cooking and stuff because, you know, people are over.
Yeah.
And, you know, they have manners. So it's time for, he calls and he's like, oh, I get out tonight, you know, because of midnight, whatever. So she goes and rushes to get him, but she leave her little daughter there.
She's like,
Which-
can I leave Coco here? Now, why the hell would you even want to leave your child in a house where you don't hardly know these people?
Right, because Lydia has a daughter, and she's like, oh, y'all about the same age, go play. Clearly not, because Lydia's daughter looks very much older, and also like, bitch, who the fuck are you?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
What?
my mama didn't tell me to go play with her, so why am I listening to you?
Can she stay here while I go get Harry?
Right.
But like you said, his family is dragging the shit out of her because they in the confessionals, and like you said, it's aunties, sisters, mom. They in the camera talking about, this bitch is crazy, okay? We don't chase no nigga, okay?
Yeah.
And the mother's like, I taught my daughters, we don't chase no niggas. And they think she's crazy off the strength of literally just chasing after him, whether that's their son, brother, or not.
Mm-hmm.
And Valideisha, the sister brought up a really good point when she was like, okay, so what happens if he is out here messing around and playing around and you just wasted you and your daughter's time? Like, have you
And
thought
you up
about it
here-
from that vantage point?
And having her call him Poppy Daddy and all that shit. She, like, Lydia asked all the right questions.
She did.
What happens if this shit doesn't work out? And what did Mama have as a response? Nothing.
No.
Nada. Zilch.
Well, it's going to work
Her-
out because Anubis said it's going to. Anubis said we're going to get our happily ever ending. And Anubis said that we're going to get our white picket fence. And, when, you know, it's going to be hard initially, but we're going to have that. So I know it's going to happen.
To quote Frasier, just because you put cat treats in the oven, that don't make him biscuit.
Fraser has left the building.
Okay?
Like, that ain't.
That's not
No.
it, Queen.
No.
That's not it.
So that was it for them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a break.
Yes.
It's gonna be a long episode. Let's take a break and we'll be back with more.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
People who will actually commit a crime over and over again, they're a menace to society, and we need to watch our backs when it comes down to them. I also learned that there are people that are innocent in the prison. Innocent, falsely accused. They really didn't do it. And I know that's the famous saying, you know, I didn't do it. But I promise you, there are people in there who really did.
We're back. We're doing a whole special on Love After Lockup season 4, which is really season 8. We've been doing this for like 2017, so I don't know why they keep fucking with us.
I don't
sure,
either. It's dumb. But
right.
You want to do
You want to do somebody new?
Yeah, Taylor and Chance.
Oh, I actually have names for them.
Okay.
Taylor, Glow, and Chance White Apollo. Her name is Glow because of her and her sister remind me of the two women on Glamorous Ladies of Wrestling on Netflix.
Oh my God.
So her name is Glamorous Lady of Wrestling.
Okay, Glow.
And White Apollo.
White Apollo.
From Real Housewives.
Let me look him up.
Because he gave. You know.
See, hold on.
I will say they have a quite their storyline is quite interesting. When you watch the episode, like he gave like he kind of fine but kind of gay. But let's talk through it, right?
Let's talk.
So,
let's chat.
Taylor with the Y and an E. She she live. I don't know where they live. It's somewhere in.
I actually didn't pay attention to where anybody lives, to be perfectly honest.
I want to say they're in Missouri, because I think I made that comment like you can't spell Missouri. I won't get canceled here. So, she is a nice, sweet lady. She she goes in and starts talking about Chance and how they met. So Chance is her boo thing, and how he got in prison was that he robbed a bank and a grocery store.
Yep.
And he was kind of smooth about it. He was just flirted with the bank teller. And you see it on, they show the surveillance footage of him robbing the bank. And, he gets the money and leaves. It doesn't look like he got a lot of money either, but he got locked up for 8 years. So she met him. She met him through her ex, who was locked up with him. And so she's only really spent 32 hours with him, but
36
she is,
physically. I had to note it.
Yeah, so they have, they have a lot of passion built up.
She said, he said, he looks like Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah, and no,
not
at all. He looks like he would be like an extra on a TBS show.
Yeah, like he was in a coffee shop or something. Now,
yeah, on The Closer or something like a Rizzoli and Isles or something like that.
For our Patreon users know this, but for those who don't, we've had conversations around niggas in prison specifically with this controlling energy. And listen, I get it. I do not date niggas in prison. I am not with niggas in prison. But I just do not understand how you let a nigga in prison control what you do outside of prison.
I'm saying.
Calling me, asking me where I'm at, who I'm with, telling me I can't go. What you gonna do? What are you going to do? Because I'm going to block you. Like, what are you gonna do?
Right.
You gonna tell me I can't go hang out with my friends? I can't even see you. Get the fuck out of here. So he has that same element of control that we have seen time and time again of an inmate who is controlling their partner from the inside. And We're going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute, because when I tell you I was perturbed, disturbed, annoyed, worried, so many emotions ran through me.
Right. At the same time, we meet her sister Bobby. This is why I came up with Glow, because they look like twin sister wrestlers. So Bobby, twin. Taylor says, she was the good one and Bobby was the bad one. So she says she got locked up herself. But she's out and she's got her life together, and she's thriving or whatever, right?
She got more sense than her sister.
Right, and she tells her, like they all families do, like, you don't know him, what you get locked up for, all that stuff. But then you get to start learning more about her, and she has 3 kids, Taylor does. 2 different baby daddies, and one was the love of her life, who sadly passed away.
The oldest two's father.
All right, eldest two's father passed away. Devastating accident. And her other child's father, they split amicably. Shit happens. But he cool.
They co-parent.
Right.
But
so
there's a third co-parent in the mix.
Oh well, yeah. Tuesday morning, because the house exploded. I was like, maybe they
it was very live, laugh,
too.
love, nigga.
Yeah. So the youngest child is very cute. She's 3. She's verbal. She's great. She's got a car picking him up, and that's how we found the story about her baby daddy.
It's so cute.
Yes. But she says, and I know this is what troubled you, because Chris Rogers stopped this at this point too. Because he paused the TV. He said, "Wait a fucking minute."
I'm gonna read you my note after you say it.
So the child says, they're talking about Chance or whatever, and she says, the little girl goes, "I want to go to prison where Chance is," and her mother responds, "You're not old enough to go to prison to be with him."
Okay, I'm gonna read you my notes. 2 lines.
I knew this was gonna piss you off.
First one says, "The baby just says she wants to go to prison. Lord."
Yeah.
The second one says, "She just told the child she's not old enough to go to prison." Nigga.
Yeah, that shit was wild.
Of all the responses, this is what you say?
Right, you are affirming in this behavior.
It's literally.
And why does she know what prison is?
She just told the child she's not old enough to go to prison. Nigga.
Right.
What?
When you get 16,
that is where let me not say that's where it began. It began, but this is where all of my rush of emotions really started in this moment, and then they just continued forward, but we'll keep going.
Right. So, fast forward, it's Christmas time and she's decorating, and I know she has a VIP card at Tuesday Morning, Big Lots, Michael's, Joanne Fabrics. Like, it's like potpourri threw up in that shit, right?
The packets.
Right. And this is the part where I learned that this nigga crazy. So the part of that I laughed about this, because she gave them kids them Choco Tacos, and them kids were fucking them Choco Tacos.
And then bragging about it.
I was like, yes. Yeah, that was the funny part, because he was on the phone and he was like, we having Choco Tacos.
He's
Which,
like,
do they have ice cream in prison?
They're like, yup.
They don't have ice cream in prison? No. Oh.
No. I love ice cream.
So they're having a really inappropriate conversation in front of the children on speakerphone.
He calls being verbally abusive out the gate. Okay,
Oh, yes.
on the speakerphone with the babies right there before the Choco Taco talk. He is accusing her of talking to other niggas, and she ain't been answering her phone all day. And he is talking to her wild, and she giggles in front of her daughters and is not worried about what they're internalizing by watching their mother in this type of behavior. And your little like passive ass giggle to try to like pass this off as, oh, he's just, Daddy Chance is just telling a joke. Like,
It's the same giggle that women give when they niggas being homophobic.
yeah, yeah. 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 He didn't mean that. Yes, he did, bitch. Yes, he did. Yes, he meant it. So, and the fact that she's got somebody in her life like this with 3 whole daughters watching her example is just, and that's not where my concerns stop, but please continue.
Because in this phone call, he's being manipulative over the phone. I'll talk about his other nasty shit that he says, but he talks about her sister being there and being a hindrance because she has her concerns like a normal sister would. And he's like, I don't understand why she needs to be apart. You know, this is our relationship.
We'll build a room for her in the garage.
We'll build a room for her in the garage. The whole time I'm thinking, none of you all are bright, because if she's on probation or on parole or anything, he can't live there, because you can't live with the fugitive, not a fugitive, but with the ex-convicted felon. You know what I mean? You can't. We've learned that plenty of times on this show
Recently.
So,
but above anything else, above even that, you're okay with this stranger nigga moving into your house with your 3 daughters.
3 daughters.
And he's
That
coming
kills me every
straight
time.
out. He's coming straight out, and you got 3 little girls in the crib.
My note says, because he talks about like some sex stuff. He talks about her having edible panties on, and he was like
Yeah.
black licorice. So my note says, he wants her to wear black licorice underwear. He is going to eat all of your children.
Yeah. He's of
Like-
he's of a demonic hellbound force. You know what I'm saying?
And then my next note says,
Black licorice.
he wants to put it in her butt. Lets me know.
Like straight out the gate, nigga, that's what you're talking about. This not
Let
even after like
me
years
know
ago.
a
You know
lot.
what I'm saying? Straight out the gate, that's what you're talking about. And he don't have no
Dorito
he don't even
bags and
ask, are the
Vaseline?
girls in the room? Are the babies in the room? You know, like, he don't even ask none of that. He just starts talking, and it's disgusting. And he's
Dorito bag and Vaseline behavior, girl.
he's overwhelming. And yeah, I'm just not really hype about this at all. Do you follow Humans in New York?
Yeah.
Did you see like that 9-part story about that white woman? Oh, nigga. She was in
Give me the story in 140.
she had a fucked up childhood growing up. Ended up getting with this nigga who was like just the bee's knees to her and everything else. Had mad babies for him. They ended up doing in vitro, because he couldn't have kids. So they ended up having like 4 kids. Come to find out, he was touching most of them.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And I almost didn't click the story because the lady just looked like, I mean, she is a real estate agent, but she just looked like, so I'm like, what the hell is this? I don't want to read no story about this white woman. Why she got so many parts? Nah.
Let's move on.
All I'm saying is you can't be having those stranger nigga move up in the house with three kids up in
No.
there. No. 3 kids,
No.
period. Not even just 3 kids.
Yeah. No.
I'm sorry. I made you
Let's
uncomfortable.
move on to
Ooh, let's do Lacey and White
Honestly-
Antoine.
Oh, Trifling Lacey and Wario. Got it. He looks like Wario. You can Google it.
Welcome to Wario World.
That's not Evil Mario, is it?
It definitely
Oh my God.
Yeah. Wario. I was like, oh.
I just called him white. But he ain't white though.
No, but he just gave Wario.
He's passing.
So it opens with, the dolls are dolling at home paint and sip. There's no, sugging, digging gawk at this one. And I've noticed that they, are you fighting with your cat?
I was telling Noah to get out and I'm trying to eat a peanut butter filled pretzel off of the microphone.
The camera sees it, so I'm like, you're gonna have to adjust it. Okay.
Close the door. Close it, seriously. All the way. Stop. Close the door. All the way. Little niggas. Continue.
So, she has reality TV eyelashes.
Mm-hmm.
But we learned her story, and essentially she wants to sow her wild oats after being married for 20 years.
No.
I'm getting to it. So, she married her high school boo thing.
Mm-hmm.
They were, loving each other more than peanut butter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Time goes on, and they kind of they only knew each other. I'm assuming both of them only knew each other biblically, right? So after a while, they wanted to explore other people and different things, right? And so she has a friend. Did we find out his mama's friend, his mama's name?
No, I didn't get it, but it doesn't matter.
Right. Well, she also has a friend. Let's call her Stacy. Stacy has a son named Antoine, and Antoine looks like he was a skater boy. He said, "See you later, boy." You know what I mean? He looked really regular and young.
He looks like Antoine. At first glance, Antoine is white or maybe some Latino.
Yeah.
Upon further investigation. Oh, just with my eyeballs, not online. It just looks to me as if Antoine has a black daddy.
That's why I gave him, because first of all, I don't know many white men named Antoine.
That was actually the very first thing. And then, but it wasn't even just his haircut, because I was like, he got that John Bonet, deceitful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. But I kept looking, and and I was like, Adonis vibes.
So, she met him through his mama, because they were friends.
You being real nice, because she left her husband. They was in a committed.
I was getting there.
They was in a committed relationship, and this bitch was with him for 20 years, and then said, "I met a nigga through my homegirl." She left her husband for her homegirl son, who was locked up in prison. Wasn't no exploring other people. Wasn't no. She left her nigga.
She did. She left
for
her
her
nigga
friend's
for a nigga
son,
in prison.
And now her friend hates her.
Yeah. And her son was like, I know I'm the reason why she got a divorce, because I wasn't going to continue on with this. Okay, look at you being honorable. But she consciously made the decision, and like she looks like she was over her husband. She looks like she's over people in general. Because Lacey just looks like she gives like old Tara Reid, kind of in like her reaction, like her action and stuff. Mm-hmm. But she don't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. She is happily dating her young buck who's 10 years her junior, and her friends are like, hey bitch, like is he gonna contribute? Is he gonna do X, Y, and Z? And essentially no, because he's never been in a real relationship, a long-term relationship. He's never had a job. He's never done X, Y, and Z. And so therefore her friends are like, I don't want to, get in the way of love, but you not.
So he calls her from the hole, which I didn't even know was a thing. And
me either, which is why I assumed I put this is a producer phone call.
Did she in this whole thing?
It sounded
is chaos and negativity clusterfuck because she's worried that his prison stay is going to have to be extended because he already been acting up and it's already been extended. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He asked about his mom and she's like, "Your mom has a drinking issue, and she hates me."
Right.
And so he starts talking about so she's like, when you get out of prison, like, what are you excited for? That fishing shit. And that nigga's like, I can't wait to hang with the people who I'm cool with when I get out. The ladies, the niggas, everybody. And she's like, yeah, like, that's totally cool. And then she's claiming to trust him. But in the process of really, and we should have known because, again, it's always in the eyes. She's claiming to trust him, but in the same breath that she is giving us this confessional about trusting him, she is in the process of writing this nigga a letter, catfishing him as somebody else to test his loyalty. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And says, everybody's a little bit crazy.
Crazy. I'm crazy for feeling.
I can't even tell him to run. I could tell him to stay.
Nah, this is his karma. Because you was messing with that. Nah, this is... this just has to play out.
Well, he didn't do nothing wrong except for whatever he did to be in prison. He's just young. So he fucked his friend's mama. Like, his mama's friend. Like, he ain't do nothing wrong.
He knew that lady was married.
He wasn't he not the one that was married.
He's not. It's different when you know, though.
No, it's not.
Look, that's not my responsibility.
It's not. It's not.
Fuck your happy home,
Listen.
Bitch. That's that.
Yeah. In the words of Riley Freeman, when does the act of personal responsibility come into the equation?
You could have said no. That's terrible.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, so it went, and how he was locked up at the time that they met, like for real. So it's like, you broke up for somebody.
You literally left your 20-year husband for a nigga you've been with for 2
Like, you don't want to be out here, queen. You don't want to be out. You think you want to be out here, but you don't.
You don't want to be out here.
Ooh.
That nigga's going to have you eating activated charcoal ice cream. And what are you going to be doing when he's pointing his finger all hard at you at a Tekashi 6ix9ine concert? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cool.
Wait until you got to play 2K. Okay.
Wait until he asks you to go see Travis Scott live.
Oh. Oh God.
Oh, actually, maybe we should remove that.
No, I'm just saying, in general, not because of that was one off.
Yeah.
But still, like, eesh, yeah. That's like, ooh, baby, let's go to ooh, this might be a little too personal for you. Baby, let's go to a Larry June concert. Speaking of which,
because I too haven't been invited to a Larry June concert. Wait, I have on Larry June merch right now. This is Larry June merch.
There you go. So we were in an Uber Lyft rideshare situation, and so we had, a young non-dusty stud from Los Angeles decide to give us a ride. So, when you get in a car with other black people, they be trying to flex and whatever with their music or whatever. So we like, okay. So they put on this one song, and I'm like, this gotta be their music because they were hype and just put this on. But when I tell you, it was like the worst thing ever. It was like,
what was that? It's like you have a headache.
I don't know. Like I wanted to bash my eardrums in into the remember on Bird Box when they were killing themselves or shit like that and banging their heads into. Oh God, you should.
I just ain't been able to look at Sandra Bullock right since The Blind Side. I told you.
Oh well, I mean it's about Corona, so why not? But is this person young?
He
the
uses
story
the
of OJ. By Young Boy Never Broke Again.
Wait, hold on. Play it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, play it.
Oh, cheese and rice. Let me, how do I do this? I'm old. Okay.
Oh, this is a mixtape. Because he can't afford that sample.
No.
Still, nigga, it's me.
No, not at all.
Still, nigga.
And it gets worse.
I'm one of the greatest to ever do it. Tell me why your favorite rapper so fake influence. Telling you he gon' do things that he never wasn't gon' do. That's the Mandela effect to the kids don't understand the shit they do. What the fuck you doing?
I see why you wanted.
Imagine having to go to that because your nigga want to take you.
I think I would have a heart attack.
Oh yeah, you gotta fake a Crohn's attack and be like, girl, I can't do it.
Oh my God.
It's true shit. No, listen.
Like I never know when it's gonna
I have irritable bowel syndrome. I cannot go. It flares up. You never know when it comes.
If he took me to a place, I'd have to just completely dip though from his life.
Oh yeah. Drop him off at a Del Taco and never call him again. Let's take a break and finish this up, and we'll be back after these messages.
Hit it, Claude.
Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Yes, she was guilty. Yes, she turned herself in. They didn't have to spend the tax dollars to find her. She turned herself in because she was taught to do what was right. She was born and raised in a family where I was in firm belief that she was going to turn out to be the good old American dream. But sometimes we'll be pinched and woken up from that.
And we're back. Still talking about Love After Lockup, our extravaganza. If you want to see the video version of this podcast, sign up for Patreon. But for this episode of The Main Stage, you'll be able to access it for free on YouTube publicly, so you can watch it and get your life.
Oh. I forgot about that.
You can smoke on camera. It's fine.
Oh, I'm not talking about for the smoking because I've been sneaking eating these pretzels.
Oh, I can fix that. That's not a problem.
I'm not worried about it. We're fine.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm not gonna fix it.
You tell me what it looks like, okay?
If it looks bad, I'll tell you, obviously. But so we're back and more Love After Lockup extravaganza. Let's go with the blacks finally. We have Kayla and Martell, and so I have Kayla and Project Pat.
Project Pat is going down. Good googly moogly, that thing is juicy. Good googly moogly,
I gave him Project Pat. It
I'm
might change throughout it's going to be a form of some Southern rapper. So it's either might be Crit next week. It could be UGK. I don't know, but it's some Southern rapper of sorts.
okay.
And
The
she
only-
looks like Moomin.
I called her shortening because when I tell you Mama looks like she took the illest of baths in something wet and greasy.
Yeah, she has Vaseline on her face like at all times.
Her wig everywhere. It's real
She
shiny.
looked like she's in that what's that video? Gonna make your body wet. Yeah.
Gonna make you scream out, yeah.
Like that's exactly what she looked like. So she Pittsburgh Moomin, she and her gay named Hollywood are linking up because she's packing. They're in Atlanta. She moved to Atlanta from Pittsburgh to be with him when he gets out of prison, Martell.
Yes.
They met in 2006. Been going strong for 13 years. He went to prison for drugs and guns.
Yeah.
She was very vague about that. So she quoted she went for drugs and guns. Because why else would you go to prison? And
She should have just said he went to prison for being black.
no, because white men have a lot of drugs and guns.
Oh, I'm
too.
not implying they don't. That was more of a dig at the justice system. Okay.
Sorry.
But I
Didn't
guess
mean
it
to put
doesn't
my
apply
blue
if he
vest on,
actually
I'm
did
sorry.
have drugs and guns. So you know what? Just scratch that from the record.
My bad. Didn't mean to protest on you. I'll take
Like,
my blue
what?
vest off now.
I'm like, whoa. Yes, I know. They have the most.
Take
guns.
off the blue vest and the koofies, everybody. False alarm.
Yes, they were together since the I think they like me phase, because we definitely
Yeah.
saw old pictures of him in his very tall tee and his uptowns and his, jorts, gents, what they used to wear back in the day. Essentially,
GNCO.
wide leg denim chinos. Essentially what the kids are wearing now, but they wore those with tall tees and uptowns and bandanas, fitteds, or whatever. So they are the only couple I think that we've ever seen who has a relationship for this long. He did request from her that she do not have sex with anybody else over the course of his 13-year imprisonment.
And production asked, well, when's the last time you had sex with somebody? And she said, would you wait 13 years?
And when I tell you, I said, that is the answer. That's it right there. Because would you? No.
Because I'm not telling y'all I fucked earlier than today, but I'll tell you that I may or may not have over the last 13 years. It could have been yesterday. It could have been 8 years ago.
Just
but,
saying.
Yeah. She has unrealistic expectations, like most people on this show. She wants to get married, and she has an idea of engagement ring that she wants, and it costs between $32,000 and $40,000.
Yep. For the ring.
For the ring. And her homosexual friend, Hollywood, asks the important question, well, how you expect him to pay for some shit and he, ain't got a job?
She said, oh, well, he's going to get one. And then he's going to start working on that $32,000 to $40,000 ring. And then also, I'm trying to get pregnant immediately.
Right. I really don't have much to say about them just now, but that was exactly what happened.
Yeah, yeah. Nigga,
I don't have any comments yet.
Oh, but I cannot.
I will, though.
We should call him Martell USA, the cognac.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Blue Swift.
Yeah. Which is, if you want a good drink, Martell and Simply Lemonade is really great, by the way.
And Blue Swift is one of Martell's.
Yeah. Yeah. That was our demi drink of choice.
We're going to call him Blue Swift.
Blue Swift. Martell USA.
Or Martell USA. One or the other. That works.
Let's move on to, I would like to end with Kevin and Tiffany.
Who mistakenly, that's who I meant was giving Adonis vibes earlier.
Oh, yeah. Got you. Let's go to inappropriate Rick and Radine.
Rick has great
He is severe and severely inappropriate. I will say this is the episode where we first got our purposeful cock shot on camera. He whipped his dick out and let us see it.
That's not even the only inappropriate part.
Yeah, no, it's not. However, parts of his story were so endearing. I did not expect the end.
Yes, but I just still could not get over the fact. So he is in a relationship with a lady in jail named Radine, who this also happens to be another couple who started before Radine went to prison and has continued on since. Now, what we would like to note is that Radine,
big asterisk,
as much as that name sounds like, she is 83 years old and lived in the first trailer park ever known to man. She's not. Rick was 40 years old when they met, and she was 18 or 19 years old.
Which leads me to believe that she was neither of those ages.
No. Well, if she went to prison, she probably was 17. You think she was younger than... He was 40, okay? And she was teen, nigga, okay? And that's
my
really...
point. And he said he's a slut. He said he had slept with over 300 women. He, he was also, what we learned later, he was living fast and loose, and he was addicted to heroin. Not to say that people...
From the age of 12 to 18.
Yeah. So... Not to say that people who are addicts do lewd acts like that, but when you tell me that you used to have a really awful lifestyle coupled with you having sex with 300 women, and the young lady was 18, so you say, I'm inclined to believe something else. I'm inclined to, because not everybody's putting their their best foot face or best face forward in these situations, right? So I'm going to try to peel back the layers. And I want to say that person was of age, but I don't know. I'm going to err that I'm not saying she was 14, but she probably age of consent, whatever legal age that would be in whatever state they're in. Because in some cities it's 13.
Oh God. Anyway,
Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Of course.
I learned that shit. That shit was wild.
Wow. Still, that's crazy.
I don't know. The reason, so when I lived in the dorms, I became an RA, and so they would ask the rules about having overnight visitors or whatever, and so it got to the age question of overnight visitors, they have to have an ID. And on one of the signs in the building, it said nobody the age of 13 and under can stay overnight without supervision. And when I asked about that to my director at the time, and he was like, that's the age of consent here. And I said, that is disgusting. So therefore, they can be overnight. Hopefully it's changed since then, but whatever. Age of consent should be 40 as far as I'm concerned. But anywho. But anywho, she, my next note about her was that she is the Brandy of her family because all of her family has died.
Yeah.
And
While she was locked up.
Yeah. While she was locked up. Mama is
It's
the Grim
16
Reaper
in
of
Connecticut.
everything. Oh, well, see, we've moved up. So good. But it definitely used to say 13 in Bodine Hall. Yeah. So her whole family's dead pretty much. And so her only support system is kind of him. And he's like calling. He says something real funny because he's on the phone with her. He was like, "Yeah, I can't wait to have your titties against my back."
Oh my God. When I tell you I screamed because I was like, where's this going?
I was like, "Oh, you into some shit?"
I said,
Yeah.
Now wait a minute. I've heard a lot of things.
Yes. Pegging is a theme this season. Work. So then he decides to let us know that he has a big dick and he knows how to use it. More importantly, that his balls don't sag to the floor. Because
He
he's
shared
old
so
and
many
almost
things
50.
that we just didn't need to know. Now he's out with his homeboys, and his homeboys they're a bike club. So
They're a motley crew.
Oh yes, honey, Sons of Anarchy, the older ones. They've all lived a lot of life, and it seems like they really do love him, and they're concerned for his well-being, and that she's not going to not only take advantage of him, but also lead him down a path because of his former addiction and her having addiction issues. And the one homeboy is real concerned that this is a scam. But this nigga is giddy for her ass. Okay? He's like, I hope I'm not getting played, but I'm too dumb in love to give a fuck. So,
Yeah, he's not that disillusioned. He knows that this could go left, but he's having the time of his life right now.
he's like, be present now.
Yeah.
Be here now. So
I'm living in the moment.
I'm just saying.
And that was him. We'll see what happens with them. But the last storyline was the most wild. And I feel like Sharp Entertainment knows us very well. Like, I firmly believe that they do shit purposely for us.
You know what? There be moments where I'm like, and it started so
you wanted us to talk about this. Like,
you did.
You could have kept this out.
Because you all have been listening since our original White Nubian King. So when you brought another White Nubian King around, you knew we were going to be invested.
Mm-hmm. Who is open and honest and a loving and affirming parent of I'm an assuming queer child.
Who has more sense than he does. But
yes. Yes. So
this is the one who
Kevin,
I said is giving me Adonis vibes.
That makes sense.
This is
so
the
Kevin, he gave us his own nickname, Gently Used Baby Daddy. Gently Used Baby Daddy and Tiffany and Crazy Kayla. There's another Kayla on this show. I at first called her Brooke Hogan, but then I was like, no.
No, let's call her Honey Buns, because that bitch is out of her mind.
Yeah. She is. Whoa. So this is different because he's going out on a date. Now Kevin is he real smooth white boy. I'm not going,
or something.
Who says I will say all these white folks say nigga.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
get that out the way.
Every last one.
Because Kevin is white and says nigga, but I don't. He white.
I don't.
But
That was where I told you.
Moments.
There are moments where I'm like, there is something else happening here.
Yeah, but
I think he had a light skinned
again,
black daddy. That
you
his
Latina.
I don't even know.
You Latina. You don't get to say nigga either. But
I
anywho,
thought you was talking to me.
Not you, but no, not you.
I was
I'm
like,
talking
but I'm
about
also
Kevin.
black, nigga, so I can't.
No, not you. You are blacker than I am. So, and I.
Not that confession. Ooh, okay.
Hey, girl, I mean, you up here doing, I don't do any of that shit. Black. Oh. Anywho, so he goes on a date, but it's really hanging out with his friend. I also want to point out that our gently used baby daddy is a short king.
Yeah.
Because when
fun
Mama pulled up, and he's titty height, which I was like, okay, girl, you should use that to your advantage. Because he was literally came up right to her cleavage. But she just happens to be a friend that he happens to just going on a date with, whatever.
Which they kept alluding to, like, an after party, but I
feel like it was a date, and when he laid it all on the line for her, she was like, nah. You got a lot of stuff going on. So Kevin met Tiffany through Facebook. That's the girl in question. And she is orange as the President 45. She went to prison for drug possession.
Yes.
He then tells us he has an ex named Kayla. And I hate when people say that they have a crazy ex, because I'm always like, well, what did you do to attribute to this behavior that you're quote unquote calling crazy? And he talks about like how she's keyed his car.
She's keyed other bitches' cars who have been in his house.
And, the girl he's on a date with feels it's like, I know him for a minute, and I feel like he's addicted to the drama. Like, he talks about being, like, into women and having all this stuff, and they just kind of just happen to not go well.
Yeah.
So, in the middle of this date, Kayla calls him. And he's, like, trying to skirt it away. Like, whatever. But it's evident that he's still fucking her. Fast forward, his friend is like, I don't know if I'm going to go on another date with him.
Yeah.
I haven't got to that part. I don't know if I'm going on a date with him, but he got a lot of stuff going on. So next, his son comes over. Because clearly they are a they. So they come over, and Kevin is packing, like bras, panties, other accoutrement for his Queen Tiffany. And, his child, let's go, his child is like, Dad, you got to get a handle on your women.
Yeah.
And like is real, you look at real funny in the light with you not telling Kayla the real deal, and you also getting somebody from prison. Like you living fast and wild right now. And Kevin's like, thank you, son, child, I appreciate all this, but I'm trying to, do right or whatever. And his child is like, I don't know if this is gonna work. Like, good luck to him. And then
in the middle of this nigga doing a confessional, his doorbell starts ringing. And you start hearing knocking on the door. And he's sitting here in true Zoom fashion with a top and no pants on. Doing his confessionals, because, that's where the confessionals happen, in these people's crib. And Kayla, the ex, is over there. And let me explain to you who Kayla is. Kayla is every bleach blonde, chubby face white girl you see on TikTok I got one better for you. If any of you have seen that TikTok, I only see TikToks when they're posted on Twitter or Instagram. But there is a TikTok of all these white kids with their version of AAVE accents. And one of them is like, Mama, I'm just a ghetto ass white girl. That's just who I am, because that's how they think we all talk. Kayla is that kind of white girl. She's a real, like, cash me outside type bitch who you really, like, has never really been caught outside.
Because her first 3 words were pussy ass nigga.
Yeah.
Through the door.
Yeah.
She says nigga freely.
And not only that, they were only in a relationship for a year.
Yeah. So he opens the door and she has young boy never been broke in the car.
I was like, is that her child? Who is that?
Yeah. And she's confused as to, like, why are these people at the house? But it's like, bitch, this ain't your house. So she's like, want to know what's going on. And production is like, who the fuck you talking to? Leave.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even... Because I could tell this part was kind of real because the way Mama pulled into the driveway, she's unhinged because she didn't even go all the way into the driveway. She halfway in the middle of the fucking street.
Yeah, she's like on the curb, driveway, and street all at the same time.
Blocking all traffic.
And I think that's the first time we ever seen production be like, bitch, who the fuck is you? Like, bitch.
Yeah, they were so annoyed. And they had a black woman producer this time, and she was like, oh no, she got to go.
Yeah.
And then Kate bum rushed her.
Like, you've got to go. You've got to go now. But he gives, of course, the vague nigga ass answer when somebody is completely caught off guard. I told you I was doing something.
Right. I told you I'm going to call you later.
That's not enough. This is not a communication thing.
At all.
But that's his fault also. This is your reaping. Because it's your fault that you've been fucking this bitch and making her think y'all are still in a relationship or that there's a potential for a relationship again or whatever ideas are coming from you all's physical interaction. You still carried on with her knowing that she was not rap type.
That girl is never trust a big button to smile. That girl is
Okay? Knowing that they did not close the soda bottle all the way. That bitch is bubbles. She don't have all her bubbles.
She's not well.
No.
I'm not saying she's crazy. She's just a little unwell.
Yeah. And
Unhinged.
you can tell. Woo, when that bitch showed up, I said, oh, this was definitely not real. I don't think this was planned at all.
Yeah, no, that's not. No, I was like, no, that's not scripted. When production is like, whoa, 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 whoa.
And she came over in fight clothes with NBA skirt or whoever the fuck in the car. She came over and like, I'm ready to put some Vaseline on my pink face and go. Even though she looked, again, she looked like she. You seen that? Did you see that video of that little boy? They was doing nigga knocking them kids, and the one little boy kept falling as he ran away. That looked like her when she fight.
Well, I don't think she can fight, but
No, hell no, that bitch can't fight. That bitch ain't never had her ass whooped properly. You always know the types. You know the types.
Always. Well, that was the end of today's episode.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, recap. Shit's crazy down at the Wee TV. for future episodes, we will be covering this on Patreon exclusively. I know you're able to see the video version of this podcast everywhere for free, but going forward, it'll be on Patreon. Sign up for $7, all access. You get everything. Remember, we have Family Game Night coming up on the 25th. If you didn't see the first one, it's up on our YouTube channel right now. YouTube.com/JXD Podcast. Jade and XD Podcast, I think that's what it is. If not, you could always look in our link tree, and the link is there. Thank you all for listening. And we'll see you all next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.